Yeah, I think the point is to always punk the game as many times as you possibly can, especially if you're the one getting the game played on you by yourself.
You cannot wish for a strong character and an easy life. Each is the price of the other. What if what you're going through isn't hard? What if you're just sensitive?
I think that most of us can look back on our lives to 10 years ago and think about the problems that we were dealing with then and think about how much of a pittance and how small those problems were compared to the problems that we deal with today. At least that's how I probably feel. Maybe you feel the same way. I then think, okay, well, if I feel that way about the problems that I had 10 years ago, then 10 years from now, Alex will look back at the problems that I'm dealing with today and feel the same way. And so if he feels that way then about the problems that I have now, then the only difference is the perspective that he has that I don't have. I might just be a sensitive little pansy, and maybe these aren't problems at all. Maybe these are just facts of life, and I need to habituate to them. I remember my first lawsuit, right? Because it's like when you're in business long enough, you make enough money, you're just going to get sued. It is what it is. And I was listening to Elon Musk talk about this, and at any given time, Tesla has hundreds of lawsuits. At any, like, just they have massive departments of legal just for all the different things that are going on. And it was thinking that a requisite for success is a problem. You cannot become the wealthiest man in the world and not get sued. Like, getting sued is an indicator that you're actually is a requisite for being there. There's no person has been there without this. And so reframing what I used to consider a problem as a point of evidence that I am on the path that I originally chose.
The problem is that we don't have very good memory. We don't have theory of mind for ourselves, for a previous version of ourselves. You know how people want to go back in time and they want to see a different place? I would love to go back in time in my own mind and remember the texture of my own existence and what were the things that I thought about. I've told this story before, but it's pretty illustrative. Day One is a journal that you can use for your phone. It's pretty good. And for me, it's big shit. It's like big things are happening. If I open Day One, some fucking shit's going down. And there was one time where I hadn't worked our events for quite a while, and a DJ that used to work for us came through, and he thought that he'd wind me up by saying 3 minutes before we opened that something was up with one of the CDJs. Something's up with one of the CDJs a couple of minutes before you open. Things are bad because there's usually not a spare, and it means that the night's going to be delayed or whatever, and there was lots of people outside waiting to come in or whatever it might be. And he was expecting a response from a previous version of me, which would have been the one that would have gone into Day One and typed about the fact that the CDJ hadn't worked. And I just said, oh, okay, well, I don't know, we'll fix it. And he called out, broke the fourth wall and said, oh, it's not broken at all. Like, I just thought that I'd wind you up, but you didn't play the game. I'm like, oh, right. It's the, like, you've grown or you've changed thing.
It was don't punk the game.
Yes, don't punk the game.
Yeah. I think the point is to always punk the game as many times as you possibly can, especially if you're the one getting the game played on you by yourself.